Hi friends, I'm Stephanie Hansen. Let's go! I've been cooking, eating, and talking about it for years.
This is amazingly good.
Now I'm inviting you along for the ride. You seem like you're pretty adventurous about food. Meet the chefs, home cooks, restaurateurs, and bakers honing their craft. Oh, look at that technique. And try new recipes with me in my kitchen. It's simple, it's easy, that looks amazing. There's always something delicious to share. This is Taste Buds. Love, goodness, delicious, soup! If you watch the show, you know I tend to scream things. Hey Taste Buds, I'm so excited for today's show. It is January, right? We have overindulged. We've maybe eaten too many sweets. We've maybe had too much wine. But this is the time to clear the decks. I wanted to have my friend Stephanie Meyer in. She is with Project Vibrancy. And Stephanie and I have been friends for like 15 years maybe.
Oh, yeah.
I have like just really appreciated your approach because I always felt like whatever it was that you were working on, that it was something I could do at home.
Oh, I love it.
And I'll just let you in on a little secret, Taste Buds. In the Twin Cities, there's a number of Stephanies in the food world. So we have Tall Stephanie, my radio partner, who we call Small Stephanie, and I'm apparently just right Stephanie, like the three Goldilocks.
Yeah.
And people will sometimes just call us the Stephanies when they see us out and about.
That's it.
So for this episode, we'll just be Smyer and Shanson. Can you talk a little bit about just what your approach is to whole eating? Because I think people think, okay, January's here and I can't eat anything and I'm dieting.
Yes. So my approach really is definitely whole food and definitely cooking at home, but keeping it pretty simple and delicious.
And by doing that, you can control more of what we're hearing talked about, macros.
Right.
So what are macros and why do people need to pay attention to that if they're so inclined?
I think January is a great time to pay attention to macros. So macros is short for macronutrients, protein, carbs, fat. And it's just a really nice way to talk about food that is very nutritious without getting really bogged down in, does this have vitamin A? Does this have vitamin C? I mean, you know, most foods have a lot of vitamins and minerals in them. And so when I work with clients, I have them focus on getting adequate protein, getting some carbs, eating some plants all together at every meal. And then that creates nutrient density in a really easy way.
I know we're supposed to eat more protein. And you were saying like 100 grams of protein a day. That felt like all I would be doing is eating. And you kind of broke it down for me in a really simple way.
It's 30 grams per meal. And that usually looks like, you know, a piece of chicken, a piece of salmon, some eggs and some Greek yogurt for breakfast. Maybe you add a little protein powder just to boost yourself up. And that seems to work really well for people so that they're not super starving at night. So getting to 100 grams of protein is sort of like a magic place. People really notice a surge in energy, recover so much better from workouts, way less joint pain, better skin, better hair, and much better appetite.
You have the most beautiful skin and hair. I'm like, oh, it's
That's
Stephanie.
very sweet of you. And you know, just not being starving all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I have so many clients who really are beating themselves up a bit for emotional eating, you know, in the afternoon and feeling like I have no willpower, I have no control over what I eat, but it's really just being undernourished all day and then being starving in the evening, and that's not a bad thing.
And
it
then you
means your
just
body
eat
needs
quick
nutrients.
stuff that's not the best.
Right.
So Stephanie, what are we gonna make today?
We're gonna use a rotisserie chicken and we're gonna use kale in both of the recipes because it's January and it won't feel healthy if it doesn't have kale in it. So the first one's gonna be soup. We're gonna add some chorizo sausage to really build layers of flavor. We're gonna add some sweet potato and finish it off with a little bit of salsa, a little bit of cream. So yeah. I really like to add layers of flavor so that even though it's simple and you'll see how fast it comes together, it's gonna taste like a lot. We're gonna make that soup. And then the second thing we're gonna do, it's gonna be a salad. And then we're gonna add chicken to it. We're gonna add some hard cooked eggs to it, some parm, kale, and then the super secret ingredient is crispy prosciutto. If you've never baked prosciutto before, it is beyond delicious.
Okay, shall we get started?
Let's do it.
Okay, we are making soup.
So we begin with oil, which most things do, and then we'll go with the onion. This is just a yellow onion, could be a white onion. Don't use a sweet onion because they don't have as much flavor when you cook them.
This is the Northern Waters Smokehaus chorizo.
Oh, great.
It is so delicious.
Yeah.
Place up in Duluth that's amazing if you ever get a chance to visit.
Okay, let's use half of this.
Okay.
Or like 2/3 of it. Let's go.
Awesome. That leaves me another half for a chorizo omelet.
We're sauteing this over medium to medium high. We're just trying to get things lightly softened, a little bit browned, not super hard cooking. We can go ahead and add the garlic and those dried spices. So
Okay, here's your garlic.
got the minced garlic.
And I think we have cumin
Yes.
and we have chili powder.
If you do chipotle chili powder, this will be very spicy. We've also got the chorizo, so I think we're gonna have enough heat. And then
oregano.
Our dried oregano. Awesome. Letting the herbs saute with the fat, that brings out more of their flavor. Okay, now we're gonna stir in the kale, get it wilting a little bit.
Now you're using the dinosaur kale. Lactino, is that what they call it?
The
I always say words wrong, and that's why Stephanie's laughing. I was just talking this weekend about sheared eggs, and I called them shired eggs, like in the Shire, you know, like at,
that is like on The Hobbit, the eggs that
Yes.
Frodo makes. So this is dino kale. I've actually never heard it called dinosaur kale before. And lacinato is the word that you're looking for.
lacinato, that's it. See, what did I call that? Lactino?
Let's go ahead and add the sweet potato. This doesn't have to be sweet potato, but just look how pretty that is.
Yes.
Chorizo and sweet potato are delicious together. So now we're gonna add salsa. This is a flavor shortcut cheat. There's already so much deliciousness in here and a nice hit of acid. This is a tomatillo salsa, but you could use red. Whatever you have on hand. I don't think people put salsa in soup very often, so maybe that's a move that you can borrow.
I like it. Another Hanson hack, but
There it
I'll have
is.
to call it a smire, what can we call it?
Smack. So we're gonna add 4 cups of chicken broth now. I like to pick up low sodium chicken broth for soup because chorizo's already salty, salsa is already salty, and so we don't wanna create a total salt bomb. Now we're just gonna let this simmer uncovered for like 10 to 15 minutes, just a low simmer. We don't wanna boil all the broth away, but we also wanna concentrate the flavors.
Okay,
Just until
so
it's sweet potatoes tender, and then we know.
okay, Stephanie, do we think the sweet potatoes are done?
I think the sweet potatoes are done. Now we're gonna finish the soup. Let's add the cream. I'm gonna turn this down so it's just like barely simmering.
Yes.
Just pour it in there. There we go. Stir that in. So this is optional, but I just love it. You get such a big impact from adding cream to soup, which doesn't really add that much fat or that many calories to it, but it just adds such a delicious mouthfeel and it brings all the other flavors together in a really nice way. So
Oh, I love it.
I say go for the cream, that's why we did it. Now we're gonna add the chicken.
Okay, and this is our rotisserie chicken
Yep.
that we bought and pulled.
And just pulled it all apart.
I would never have thought of sausage and chicken together in one soup.
Oh, they're so good together. If I hadn't done sausage, I would have done some bacon. We're gonna start with half of the lime, just because we did use that tomatillo salsa, and that's a little bit more acidic maybe than a red salsa, so we'll just see. Anything with cream in it really is benefited by the little bit of acid.
Yum.
Go ahead and grind some black pepper in too.
Okay,
Now, basically we're done. However, we have to do the salt test now.
I'm tasting it too.
Yes. It tastes great, but it needs salt.
I love salt, so I don't trust myself.
Right.
When I wrote a cookbook, the number one thing I think I had issues with was how much salt, because I like a lot of salt. So I think I undersalted a lot of the things to just compensate.
Did you feel like you wish that you had
I
added more
did.
salt?
I did.
Cookbook,
Yes.
cookbook.
And I think next cookbook, I'll just go with what I think and then take my chances.
Yeah, you have a great palate. You should do it exactly to your liking.
Yeah. All right, we're just gonna ladle up. What do you call your soup?
So it's got a pretty boring name, which is, chicken, sweet potato, kale, and sausage soup.
Which is all the things that are in it that are delicious.
I know, it's got all of that. So yeah, we've got all the good stuff in it. So as you can see, This is hearty. I mean, this has a lot of vegetables and a lot of protein in it. It's gonna be really filling. Are you team cilantro?
Oh yes.
Okay, cool.
Some people think cilantro tastes like soap.
Right. I'm actually one of those people, but I have trained myself to like it because it's in all of my favorite cuisines, and I just could not,
How did you
keep
train
getting around
yourself? What did you do?
I just kept eating little bits of it at a time and exposing myself to it slowly over time. And
Who knew?
Yeah, you can acclimate yourself to it.
Okay,
So
can I cheese you?
Cheese me.
Cheese you!
And we could do more black pepper too if we wanted. Feels chefy.
All right, we're eating our chicken, chorizo,
eating.
sweet potato, onion, cilantro, cheese, cumin, kale.
No, this tastes great. I hope you like it.
I do. I love the acid of the salsa. That was kind of a nice surprise. This sounds really easy to think about, but I never had the mixing of meats. Like chorizo is a meat, bacon is a meat, adding chicken. I'm kind of a solitary meat person, but like layers of meat, more
Especially-
protein, right?
More protein, and especially with chicken, because the chicken doesn't have that much flavor to it. And so starting with some bacon first and get that like salty smokiness going, or a little bit of sausage, and it doesn't take much. A little bit goes a long way.
Super good.
Oh, good.
And I can eat all this, and this is like healthy food
And
for
this is healthy
January.
food for January.
I mean, and I didn't even have to use that much cheese.
You didn't, although you used more than I did.
Go figure. Story of my life. Now we are on to salad.
Yes.
And we're gonna use a lot of the same ingredients, right?
We are.
Okay, I'm gonna just wipe your face.
Oh yeah, I got soup on my face. Awesome.
That's what friends do.
Yeah, so we're gonna make salad. We're gonna use this chicken again. We're gonna use kale.
All right, we'll get to it.
We're gonna begin with prosciutto.
Oh.
Have you ever done that before?
No.
So prosciutto, we obviously know what that is. Very delicious charcuterie, delicious with melon.
Ham.
But it basically
Basically ham.
super
Fancy
thinly
ham.
sliced. And I'm telling you, it just adds bomb flavor to a salad.
Okay, and we're using that like in place of like a crouton to get that crispy texture.
You got it. So we're gonna put this in the oven at 400 degrees for like 10 minutes.
I cleaned my oven for the shoot,
Did.
people.
I'm very impressed. All right, we are setting a timer because I'll tell you what, you do not want to forget or you'll burn it really quickly. We've got a little surprise that's about to happen with these eggs.
I did the hard boiling of the eggs and they were boiling away, and she said, well, how long have they been in there? I said, I don't know.
So here's my hard-boiled egg trick. As I bring a pot to boil, I take the eggs from the fridge and I put them in hot tap water. And that tempers them so that they don't crack when you add them to the boiling water. And I boil them for 9 minutes, and that's like a beautiful hard-boiled egg.
I usually
that's
do
a
them in
good-
my Instant Pot.
I mean, that's a great thing, but I don't necessarily want to take out another piece of equipment just to do it. And they do peel really well when you drop them into boiling water. So hopefully this is gonna work.
Does that mean it's not cooked long enough?
Maybe. I mean, we'll find out. Oh wait, I saw a little peek there.
Beak?
Peak.
Okay, that one's much better.
It's always a little bit of a surprise on taste buds, right?
How long have they been cooking? I don't know.
I don't know. You didn't tell me that part.
I'm gonna let you, here's the big reveal.
How do you want it chopped? In quarters?
It doesn't
or-
matter because we're gonna chop it all up, so just let's cut it in half and see. Oh my gosh, it's perfect.
Oh, it sure is. Look at that.
Wow.
Okay, let's do one that
The
didn't peel
secret
as easily.
is
because,
to not time your eggs.
I mean,
That's our new recipe. Boil them until you think they're done.
they absolutely are probably like the best eggs I've ever done on the stove.
They are beautiful. We're just gonna very coarsely chop these. They're not, we want bites of egg. We don't want just,
So we're getting protein in the eggs.
Yes.
We're gonna get protein in the chicken.
Yeah.
There's probably not a lot of cheese in there, but we're
No.
gonna get some protein
Yep,
from the
yep.
Parmesan cheese. Do nuts have a lot of protein?
Rest in peace,
Are they pepita?
Pepitos. We loved Pepitos, which was a beloved Mexican restaurant in the Twin Cities. These are Pepitas. And
Wait, did I say pepitos?
so the Pepitas,
Yeah,
Have,
we're having pepitas.
we're having Pepitas. And they do have some protein, but I like to say nuts are really a fat with some protein in them, nuts and seeds.
Here's our Dino Lacinato kale.
Oh
did
my
I
God,
say it right?
You did.
Oh,
You
right.
killed it. I love it. Yeah, go ahead and put that in here too.
Okay,
I'll
just
go
more
in.
of the same
Yep,
kale.
Yep, that's plenty.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let's.
All of it? Yeah,
we'll
let's
go
do
for
all of it.
First, we're gonna add the lemon juice to this and we're gonna massage it. So that's gonna
Okay.
be our first step. I like the balance of acid and salt and fat. We've got the lemon juice on here. So the key with kale, if you've ever had kale salad that tasted a little soapy, it's because the leaves hadn't been broken down a little bit. So cooking obviously breaks them down and takes that flavor away. But the other thing you can do is rub lemon juice into it and even let it sit for a few minutes.
Listen to that squeaky sound
I know.
it's making.
You can see that it starts to get darker green. It starts to get softer. And the beauty of this salad is this will taste great in the fridge for 2 or 3 days, which most salads don't.
Yeah.
So that's the really nice thing about using really hearty greens like kale or cabbage. Okay, our prosciutto's done.
I think, let's see. Oh, it's smoky.
It gets really smoky. And then we're just gonna let it sit and it will crisp up.
Okay. Oh, it's smoky.
It gets really smoky. And then we're just gonna let it sit and it will crisp up.
Okay.
So we're adding our eggs. And now we're gonna add toasted pepitas. They actually stay crunchy in a salad for a few days too. And then we are going to add that rotisserie chicken again. We're gonna make good use of that again.
So yeah, we've made 2 complete meals with the rotisserie chicken. And we
the
did
kale.
have a little bit left even that we froze, and we're gonna make some broth later.
Absolutely. Rotisserie chickens make wonderful broth. And if you're throwing away your rotisserie chicken carcass, you are throwing away pure gold. So
Okay, don't throw it away.
don't throw it away. Put it in the freezer and label it. And then we're adding Parmesan.
All right, I am
right.
going into the new year all full of protein, people. Look out.
It's gonna be the year of protein.
It is, it is. We've got the Vitamix out and we're gonna make the dressing. You could just use a regular blender or even like a Cuisinart. Could you make it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. And you wouldn't even have to blend it if you didn't want to, but I just like it to be that much more uniform. So we're back to the olive oil again, and we're gonna go ahead and put a ½ cup. That's gonna counter the lemon juice that is already on the kale.
Okay.
We're gonna use basically 2 scallions. I love scallions in salad, a little milder, and it turns out that scallion greens are just incredibly nutritious, more so than regular onion. And then I love mint, but you could use basil. We're gonna add a little bit of spiciness with red pepper flakes or chili flakes. I love chili flakes for adding just really subtle heat. And then we're gonna go ahead and add a couple teaspoons of salt. That's the basic base of the dressing.
Okay.
Normally, of course, you would add lemon juice or vinegar, but as we said, it's already on the kale.
Kale.
So,
Okay, I'm gonna
you're
try
gonna
to
do us
maneuver,
here.
yeah, our,
I'll put the lid on.
just in case.
Oh, I've made that mistake before.
Me too with hot soup.
It's all chopped up. It's not a total puree. That's fine. It's more so than it would be if you did it by hand.
Okay.
Okay, we've got our baked and cooled prosciutto.
Look how crispy it is.
It gets so crispy. I mean, look at this. It's like really fragile, actually.
I love the idea of shattering it
It
too
does
in a
shatter.
salad.
That really is it. So we're gonna go ahead, dive in.
Oh,
We're
we
gonna-
can just-
Yeah,
okay.
we're gonna like shatter.
So these are protein-packed, healthy-ish croutons, right?
That's exactly. And it's different than bacon. I mean, prosciutto isn't smoky, so bacon is smoked. You could obviously do bacon. Bacon is delicious in a salad, but this is just really fun, and it does add even a saltier, crispier sort of a situation. Dump that on there. Drizzle the dressing.
And we've got the
Putting it
lemon
all on
juice
there.
on the kale.
Yes.
We've got the garlic, the scallions, the mint, the red pepper flakes. This is really looking amazing.
And now we're just gonna do black pepper because what is a salad without black pepper?
That is correct. And also, I don't know what it is about salad, but when someone else makes it, it always looks so much better than when you make it yourself.
See that? Yeah. That's kind of true of a lot of food, actually.
Oh, I feel like this is gonna be just
why,
amazing.
Restaurants were invented.
It's so true. I never even thought about that. Yes.
I'm gonna add some actual salt to the salad. A lot of people don't salt their salad.
You should.
And they think, and even though the dressing has salt in it, even though we've got these other elements, taste it and put some actual salt on the greens.
And remember, all your packaged food usually has salt in it already. So while you're looking at us and like, oh, they keep putting salt in, it's because none of our ingredients had salt in it because none of it's packaged.
That's right. So
We are controlling all of the elements here.
And we're tasting as we go, which is absolutely key.
Ready?
Yeah, ready. Ah, there.
Okay, look, that worked perfect.
Good team.
And this is probably like a portion for 2 for a meal, maybe.
Right, I think
4 as a side,
yes,
or
yes.
1 as a person who wants to have leftovers for a couple days.
One is who's really hungry. No, that would be a lot.
Okay, we're friends here. We're
All
just
right,
going
let's
right
dig
in. This is a delicious.
I guess
lunch
we'll see
salad.
how many servings it is after we're done here.
1.
What do you think?
I'm surprised it's not lemonier, because I thought maybe it was going to be too lemony, but it's not at all. And the kale is really broken down. That's really nice. I like the egg. We did those perfect. That hint of prosciutto is giving a lot of like crispy salt action, which is really, really nice. And I'm not getting burned out by the chili. I saw your big handful and I was like, oh,
Did you?
okay, a little bit. Meyer,
Yeah.
this is awesome. The soup was great. I'm starting off really feeling like healthy. I am eating the healthy food. I'm just giving my body a little bit of a reset, and I feel like I've got great tools to do so. And if people want to get more information about like how they can coach with you to figure out nutritionally, maybe some easy hacks for them at home, how would they get in touch with you?
I would absolutely go to my Instagram, which is stephanie.a.meyer. And I've got, the link in my bio there has a whole list of ways that we can work together. Coaching, my cookbooks, my cooking classes, all sorts of goodies.
All right, Stephanie, I don't have any salad in my teeth, do I?
Smile. No, you look good.
All right, for this recipe and all of the information about Taste Buds, go to fox9.com/tastebuds. Make this delicious salad. Make the soup we made today.
Do it.
Stephanie, thanks for joining me today. Thanks for being a Taste Bud.
My pleasure. Happy New Year, babe.
Happy New Year.